في الأمر أسرع مما يعتقده الناس وآملوا ذلك، وهو أمر حول العالم يراقبه الناس يراقبوننا حول العالم ويرون ما نفعله، وهو أمر مؤثر جدا. العديد من البلدان تكافح أيضا ونمنحهم أي معلومات نستطيع إعطائها لهم. وقد تحدثت مع ممثلي بريطانيا ورئيس وزرائهم العظيم يتعافى وهو حالته أفضل، إنه في حالة سيئة نعم ويمر بأوقات حالكة، ولكن يبدو أن حالته أفضل وهذا أمر جيد. ونتمنى لعائلته وأصدقائه الناس الذين يحبونه كل الخير. وأصبح رئيس وزراء شعبيا جدا بعد العمل الذي قام به، إنه يحب بلده ونقدر كل شيء فعله ونأمل أنه سيتحسن. بالحديث عن الشعب العظيم الذي قام بعمل رائع، كان مايك بومبيو معنا، وسأطلب من مايك أن يتحدث قليلا وبعدها سأتحدث لإعادته إلى وزارة الخارجية. سنتلقى بعدها بعض الأسئلة وبعدها سنتابع ببقية ما سأقوله ونتلقى بعدها أيضا بعض الأسئلة، وبعدها نائب الرئيس بنس سيتحدث. تفضل مايك. شكرا سيد الرئيس. تحت رئاسة فريقي يقوم بكل ما يمكن لحماية شعب من الفيروس وإعادتهم إلى منازلهم. العديد من البلدان مغلقة وبناها التحتية تنهار والمواصلات متوقفة، ونحن نعمل منذ يناير. أعدنا الكثير من المواطنين إلى منازلهم وإلى وطنهم. الولايات المتحدة من أكثر من 19 بلدا، كان هناك أكثر من 100 رحلة جوية، وهذه العملية الشاملة لإعادتنا لم تحصل في حقبتنا التاريخية أبدا. نتعامل مع الحكومات والعسكريين والكوادر الطبية والفنادق لنتأكد من أن الأمريكيين سيعيدون ليكونوا مع عائلاتهم، ومن خلفه هي الخريطة للرحلات الجوية التي نعيد بها مواطنين من حول كل أنحاء العالم. وسمعت بعض القصص من فريقي، سأعطي مثالين. في البيرو فريقنا يعملون مع الشرطة والعسكريين لإرسال زوارق عبر النهر لإعادة المواطنين الذين علقوا في غابة الأمازون، وامرأة لم تحصل على العقاقير ولكن تمكن من إعادتها إلى المنزل من الهندوراس بعد أن أغلقت حكومة الهندوراس المطارات وكل شيء، وأعدنا الآلاف من المواطنين. شكرا لمساعدتي لإعادة المساعدة في مساعدة المواطنين. تلقيت الكثير من الرسائل من الناس أنهم فخورون بمعرفة أن البلد لم يتخلى عنهم وسنعدهم إلى منازلهم جميعا. امرأة كتبت: بكيت حينما رأيت أن هناك رسالة ستعيدني الولايات المتحدة. بارك الله في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. أخرى قالت: أنا قد شعرت وكأن لدي حلفاء وعاملوني كإنسانة وعضو من العائلة وليس كمواطنة، مجرد مواطنة. الضباط قاموا بعمل رائع، وأشكر شركائنا في وزارة الدفاع الذين ساعدونا في بعض الرحلات الجوية التي أعادت المواطنين منازلهم. أيضا وكالات أخرى، أخوتنا وأخواتنا في الحكومة وفي هذه الإدارة لقد ساعدوا في عودة أولئك المواطنين إلى بلدهم، ووفقا لجهودنا نساعد الدول حول العالم أيضا، ونساعدهم بالاستشارات والخبراتنا وكل ما يحتاجونه ليبقوا مواطنيهم آمنين. وسنعيد لإيقاف الاقتصاد العالمي على قدميه. سنرى إن كان لدى أي أحد أسئلة لوزير الخارجية. هل من أحد؟ سيد، قمتم بعمل رائع. كثير من الأمريكيين يريدون العودة إلى منازلهم. نعم، إنه سؤال رائع. لدينا عدد من الآلاف من المواطنين في الخارج وأشخاص جدد يجدون أنفسهم في أماكن مستعصية. ستنتهي الأزمة حين يتمكن الناس من السفر بشكل حر والذهاب إلى الكنيسة، ونأمل أن ذلك الوقت سيحل قريبا. ويمكن أن يعبر على وزارة الخارجية لإعادتهم إلى مزنهم، ولكن حاليا نشحذ كل الموارد لإعادتهم من المناطق المستعصية. هناك المطارات مغلقة وأيضا الطرقات، وليس المشكلة بشأن رحلات الطائرات، بل هناك أمور أخرى يجب أن تحصل بشأن التنسيق لكي يخرجوا من المناطق عن طريق المواصلات ويصلوا المطارات. هناك الآلاف ونعمل على ذلك، كثير من المواطنين يدخلون في موقع وزارة الخارجية ويقولون أنهم يحتاجون المساعدة، ونفعل كل ما يمكن لإخراجهم وإعادتهم إلى بلدنا، وسنواصل العمل ما دام لدينا الموارد الكافية. كم من أولئك تم اختبارهم إيجابيا بإصابتهم بالكورونا فيروس وسيخضعون للحجر الصحي؟ وماذا بشأن الجهود الدبلوماسية ما وراء البحار لإعادة الآلاف المواطنين وتعاملكم مع العواصم؟ العديد من أولئك أنهم مواطنون عاديون يعملون وكانوا في رحلات أعمال أو إجازات، ولقد علقوا في كافة أنحاء العالم، وسفاراتنا أخرجنا الجميع من ووهان، وأيضا سفاراتنا مفتوحة حول العالم، ونتعامل مع الأمور ولنتأكد أن ليس فقط وزارة الخارجية تعمل ذلك، بل أيضا وزارة الدفاع تعمل على مساعدة المواطنين. هل تشعرون أن الصين قد ساعدت بالمعلومات الولايات المتحدة، وهل سيكون هناك من عواقب؟
We're still working on this problem set. There's still data that these good people need so that they can perform their analysis of how to both develop therapeutics and a vaccine and to understand where this virus is. So every country, China included, every country needs to be transparent about what's gone on in their country. They need to share that data. We share ours with the world so that the best scientists in the world can get to the right conclusions and bring this economy, this global economy, back to the place that we all want it to be as quickly as we can. Every country has that responsibility. It started in China, and so they had that special responsibility to get it right quickly and fast. Ask every country as we move forward in the days and weeks ahead, make sure we share that. Do it right, do it well. When we do, we'll get this thing back on.
Should they have shared their data sooner with the United States?
Every country has an obligation to share that information accurately, timely, completely, transparently, and thoroughly, just as quickly as they can gather it. We'll leave for another time to evaluate how everyone did in that.
Thank you, President Trump. And Secretary, I have a question. The World Health Organization has a fundraising drive for about $700 million for coronavirus resources. China has only donated $20 million. The United States actually has donated less. So do you feel that China should be giving more to this World Health Organization effort? And could you comment on the U.S. donation?
You want to say something, Mr. President? Well, you could just say we held. At this point, we're reevaluating our funding with respect to the World Health Organization. Now, this is very consistent with what President Trump said since the beginning of his campaign. Organizations have to work. They have to deliver the outcomes for which they were intended. And we need to make sure that not only the World Health Organization, but every international organization, that we take taxpayer money and give it to them for the benefit of America. We need to make sure it's delivering on those taxpayer dollars. The World Health Organization is no different in that respect. They have to execute on the mission that they are designed to achieve. And we've seen, with respect to the World Health Organization, here we are. It hasn't accomplished what it was intended to deliver.
Mr. Secretary, you said a handful of staffers have tested positive. Are they going to get the hydroxychloroquine treatment? Is that going to be made available to personnel overseas?
I don't know the answer to that. But know that we'll deliver the best medical care every place we can. Some of them are in difficult places where there's not a lot of medical help. We've done our best to move that medical assistance forward to them in the field.
Jeff. Thank you, sir. Mr. Secretary, right here. Can you give us an update on the numbers you're seeing about coronavirus cases in Iran, and whether or not you have any updates on the United States helping them with that?
So with respect to our assistance to Iran, we've offered from the first day we knew that the virus had struck the people of Iran, we offered humanitarian assistance. I regret that they chose not to take that. I've heard people talking about sanctions. The world should know there are no sanctions that prevent humanitarian assistance, medical supplies, pharmaceuticals from going to Iran We offered American assistance. We've tried to help other countries get assistance in there as well. Had some ability to do that. I don't have any better data than what you've seen publicly than I could share with you with respect to the extent of the virus inside of Iran.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Are you allowing exports of medical supplies at this time, or what's the status of that?
So you've seen, we're making sure that we have what we need for the American people, whether that's gloves. I'll let the Vice President talk to numbers on that. But at this point, what we are doing in terms of assistance is providing what most of these countries need to learn how to do surveillance themselves, to learn how to conduct tests themselves, to learn the things that can reduce the peak in their countries. Those are the kind of things. And we've been doing this, you should know. The United States has been incredibly generous. We have CDC officials like no other country in the world out helping these nations build out their healthcare, global epidemic healthcare infrastructure. It's good people like that you see sitting to my right that have been working on this all their life, all around the world, putting these countries in a place where they're better prepared for a virus like this one.
Have any U.S. diplomats or U.S. officials contracted the virus as they've tried to rescue U.S. citizens abroad?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of, but there's no doubt. I remember when we sent our team to get our officials and about 800 American citizens, non-government citizens that were living in Wuhan. I remember when we sent one of our first repatriation flights in there, we were very careful. We sent trained professionals in, but they were going into a very, very difficult, very fraught place. We were blessed. They all got back with no one having contracted the virus on that trip. I'm not aware of any of our officials that have had the virus attack them while they were performing their functions, trying to get people back. And we have a number of State Department officials who have COVID-19 now and are working their way through. In fact, we've had 3 fatalities of local employees, not U.S. direct hires, but local people who were working for the State Department and embassies around the world. We've had 3 fatalities so far.
So there have been some calls on the World Health Organization for a leadership change there. I was wondering what your thoughts are on that. Senator Martha McSally, for example, has called for Dr. Tedros to resign.
I don't want to look. This is not the time to be doing that kind of change. There'll be a lot of time to look back and see how the World Health Organization performed. In the meantime, what our task is to preserve and protect the American taxpayers, to make sure that our resources don't go to places that aren't going to deliver on behalf of the American people in the world. And President Trump and I are determined to do that.
Okay. Just a quick follow-up.
Let's save it. Can we save it?
Just a quick follow-up, sir, if I may, on
Yeah,
China.
he's a busy man.
You said that China has a responsibility to get correct figures. How would you broadly characterize cooperation with China right now?
There's lots of places we've been cooperating, right? They're providing us assistance where we need it. There are places on the ground now where we do have access to the data we need, and we're deeply appreciative of that. They've said they want to cooperate. We're completely prepared to cooperate with them. That cooperation means sharing data, being transparent, being upfront, allowing information to flow freely. That's our expectation, not just of China, though, of every country that is in this place today. Collectively, we have to work our way through this, and to do that, you have to have really good data.
Okay?
Great. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, thank you very much. Just a few days, we've delivered nearly 11 million N95 masks to hotspots around the country, as you know, including 6.6 million to New York and New Jersey, 1.8 million to Chicago, 1.7 million to Detroit, and 837,000 to New Orleans. I spoke with the governor of Louisiana a little while ago, and they're doing really pretty well, much better than they thought. They'll be using fewer beds. As you know, we built a hospital. We're about set to complete another hospital, and there's even a possibility they won't need it. That's what we discussed. To date, we've shipped out more than 8,000 ventilators, and we have 10,000, almost 10,000 sitting there ready to go should we need them, and an additional 2,200 newly manufactured ventilators come online on Monday. We're going to be sending them to various locations just in case they need them. My administration's working with Philips to double their production of ventilators by May and ultimately quadruple production by later this year, high-quality ventilators. We're eliminating bureaucratic barriers to pave the way for Philips' major investments in American manufacturing sites and sales. This will help to ensure that our country can permanently produce enough ventilators in the future that we can do them by ourselves. We're going to have a big stockpile when we're finished, and we expect to be sending quite a few to other countries to help them after we're finished. And even now, a couple of countries are really, really in dire need. And it looks like our projections were right on ventilators. And some states that were thinking they would need thousands of more than they thought are now already taken care of, which we're very happy about. In addition, beginning in May, we'll be receiving almost 300 million new face masks. We're going to have masks of about 300 million. They'll be starting to be delivered in May and during the month of June. So we're ordering a big stockpile, and we're thinking about doing an extra 200 million should we need them, or for the stockpile. So we'll be in a position to have something incredible. So that'll be a total of 500 million masks. And today, 750,000 new protective gowns landed in Dallas, Texas, as a result of a partnership led by the federal government, DuPont and FedEx. And that's been a great partnership. That's worked very well. So we have 750,000 new protective gowns, and these are at a high level, very high quality. As American industry steps up to help, so are America's doctors and scientists. 10 drugs are now in clinical trials, and my administration is taking unprecedented actions to make new therapies and treatments available without delay. The doctors, the lab technicians, the companies, I spoke to them yesterday, I spoke again today. They are coming up with things that are, I hope, in the very near future are going to be very, very special, very important. Our national stockpile is now equipped with nearly 30 million hydroxychloroquine pills. So we're up to about 30 million. We're distributing by the millions. You read about State Representative Karen Whitsett, who I very much appreciate her going public, but she was, I think, very, very much helped by this pill. She saw what I was saying on television. She thought she was in very bad shape. I don't want to go further than that, but you see her story, you know her story. She's a highly respected state rep from Michigan, and I think she did a great service, what she's done. She's in terrific shape. She looks fantastic, and she was very generous with her statements. In addition, the zithromycin and zinc, they say zinc. You should add zinc. Now, it's all has to be recommended by doctors, physicians, but they say zinc. I want to throw that out there because that's where they seem to be having the best result. So you add the zinc and the zithromycin, and it's been, we've had a lot of good stories, and we have almost 30 million doses, so we've got a lot. I want to thank Prime Minister Modi of India for allowing us to have what we requested from before the problem arose, and he was terrific. We'll remember it. Later today, the CDC will release further guidance to help ensure critical infrastructure workers can perform their jobs safely after potential exposure to the virus, and so they're working on that. The question was asked a little while ago about the World Health Organization, and as you know, they made a statement on January 14th, I guess it was, that there was no human-to-human transmission. Well, there was. They probably made that statement in the second or third week of December in addition, but they made it very powerfully on January 14th. And they criticized me very strongly when I said that we're going to shut down flights coming in from China, and especially from certain parts of China, but from China generally. We were criticized very badly. So last year, and for many years, hundreds of millions of dollars has been paid to the World Health Organization, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And last year was $452 million, and China paid $42 million. Before that, it was $500 million, and China paid less than $40 million. And before that, it was similar numbers in the 400s, 300s, and sometimes even in the 500s of millions of dollars. And China would do proportionally just a small fraction of that number. And I think they have to get their priorities right. And their priorities are that everybody has to be treated properly, every country. And it doesn't seem that way, does it? It doesn't seem that way. So we're going to do study, investigation, and we're going to make a determination as to what we're doing. In the meantime, we're holding back. We want to say very unfair. So the United States, $452 million compared to $42 million. That's to the World Health Organization. That's not good. That's not good. Not fair. Not fair at all. And other countries, as you know, also gave very substantially less than the United States. And the World WHO, World Health, got it wrong. I mean, they got it very wrong. In many ways, they were wrong. They also minimized the threat very strongly, and not good. I want to take this opportunity to express the thanks of an extremely grateful nation to the Americans who go to work every day, especially in these critical industries in the midst of the pandemic, to care for and protect and feed American people, including medical personnel, law enforcement, first responders, food suppliers, sanitation workers. And somebody mentioned today, would you please specifically call out cashiers and clerks at grocery stores who are in danger during the pandemic, during the epidemic. They're in danger. They're really in great danger. And they've been incredible, and I want to call them out, to cashiers and clerks. We grew up with cashiers and clerks and grocery stores, and they've been great, and they've really been true American heroes. So I want to call them out because they're working hard, and they're working in conditions that aren't ideal, but soon they'll be ideal again. As we mourn the terrible loss of life for this and from this grave pandemic, we're seeing signs that our aggressive strategy to slow the spread is working. The number of new cases is stabilizing. The number of beds necessary in so many locations. I was watching this morning New York. I was watching Louisiana. You see what's going on. The numbers are changing, and they're changing rapidly, and soon we'll be over that curve. We'll be over that top, and we'll be headed in the right direction. I feel strongly about that. Some terrible days ahead, but we're going to have some wonderful days ahead. And we're going to get this behind us, this terrible thing behind us. Some people will never be able to forget if they had a loved one, if they had a great friend or a friend. But we're going to get it behind us. This is a tribute to the discipline and the devotion of the American people, what we've accomplished. If every American continues to strictly adhere to social distancing guidelines, we can defeat the invisible enemy and save countless lives, and we can do it much more quickly. We're hopefully heading toward a final stretch, the light at the end of the tunnel, as I was saying. As we continue to wage all-out medical war to defeat the virus, we're also fighting an economic war to ensure we can quickly turn to full financial strength. We have to get our country back. We have to get going. Everybody wants to get going. Yesterday, I asked Congress to provide an additional $250 billion to expand the incredibly successful Paycheck Protection Program. You've seen what's gone on there. It's incredible, actually, which is allowing our small businesses to keep employees on the payroll and get ready for the opening. Like a second opening to protect millions of American jobs. I'm asking Congress to pass additional funding for this program this week as soon as possible. And I think we have pretty good understanding with the Democrats. Hopefully it's going to be bipartisan. We do not have time for the partisan games, and we don't want that, the obstruction or totally unrelated agendas. We want to do this for the small businesses and the workers. And we can do a phase 4, and a phase 4 will be later. This will be an expansion of what we've already done because it's so successful. The $350 billion will be expanded by hopefully $250. And if you look at the kind of loans, thousands, tens of thousands of loans to small businesses, it's a great thing to see. It's turned out to be more successful and more productive than anybody would have thought. But Democrats and Republicans are coming together to get that job done. That's a very important job. In recent days and days ahead, we'll restore America's health and economic might, but also dimensions of our national strength will be brought together, I think we have a chance to be stronger than ever before. We've learned a lot. And we have tremendous stimulus now, tremendous stimulus, and we're going for more. Hopefully we'll be doing an infrastructure bill so we can rebuild our roads and highways and bridges and tunnels and all of the things that we should be doing for our country. We're going to rebuild our country, not other countries where they don't even appreciate it. As our citizens persevere through this present challenge, we're renewing American unity, and we're replenishing American will, and we are witnessing new American valor each and every day. We see it every day. The daring and determination of our people in this crisis reminds us that no matter how hard it gets, no matter what obstacles we must overcome, Americans will keep on fighting to victory, and we will secure the glorious future that our citizens so richly deserve, especially after going through this nightmare, this evil beast. So we're getting very close, and hopefully hopefully it's on the other side and it will end soon, and I think it will, and I just think that the people of this country are fantastic. So we'll take a few questions, and then Vice President will take over. Please, go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. ABC is reporting that your intelligence committee was warning about the virus as early as November and produced a detailed report about the outbreak in China. When did